Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel English Literature. Today we are going to read a very short poem by Emily Dickinson, just two stanzas. This is my letter to the world that never wrote to me. The simple news that nature told with tender majesty. Her message is committed to hands I cannot see, for love of her sweet countrymen judge tenderly of me. This is a very sweet little poem that we are going to explore now. Okay. This first stanza, this is my letter to the world. This first stanza in Dickinson introduces poetic context of the poem. She is trying to communicate with this world about what she had learned from the nature. This is my letter to the world that never wrote for me. There is a complaint also. The simple news that nature told with tender majesty. So this is my letter. This very first part is like an announcement. It is an announcement. The poetess is making an announcement to the world. That never wrote to me. So it is the complaint part. It is the complaint. The nature never wrote back to her. Neglected. She is neglected. The feeling of neglected, being neglected or ignored is expressed here. And the poetess, this letter to the world, he dedicated to her readers, to this world, because this world stands for all her readers. She tries to establish a direct communication, a rapport with her readers, who however never taken very serious notice of her, neglected and ignored her. So this is her sad tone. The first line of the poem is in the nature of an announcement, while the second line is complaint. Now the third and fourth line, this contain the subject matter of the letter of her poetry. What is the subject matter? Simple news that nature told with tender majesty. So this is third and fourth line, subject matter of the letter. Subject matter of the letter is exposed here. That her vision of nature or the universe, the mystery of universe, her interpretation of nature. So here the poetess is acting as a communicator. She is communicator. Here nature, here is the world, and the poetess is acting as a communicator. Nature, poetess, world. As if nature has selected Emily Dickinson, the poetess, to impart her message to the world. It is like the Christian theory, God, priest and common man. So, nature has selected the poetess to deliver her message to the world. So in this phrase, my letter, we find a note of self-consciousness. This is my letter to the world. And letter means a way of communication. That never wrote to me. Again, this line is permeated with sadness. The news that nature is giving is very simple, direct news, and tender majesty. Majesty itself is distant, formal, but this majesty is tenderness associated with subjectiveness. So there is certain type of contradiction here, because majesty is just like formal, but tender is informal, subjective. So here that type of majesty is not formal, but it has informality, suggestive. It is a kind of oxymoron. Her message is committed to hands I cannot see. So in the first stanza, the poet informs her message to the world, informs about her complaint, and then informs us about the subject matter of the letter. And now in this stanza, her message is committed to hands I cannot see. Now the shift is from third person addressee to the second person. Here it was third person addressee. Addressee. Now it is here, the shift is to second person. Her message is committed to hands I cannot see, for love of her sweet countryman. So she is making an appeal to make judge tenderly of me, sweet countryman, judge tenderly. So she is making an appeal to her countryman to judge tenderly about herself, about the poetess. So this is her request. To hands I cannot see. Which hand we cannot see? The hands of God, the hands of heaven we cannot see. So this is kind of metaphor. This hand we cannot see is the hand of God, hand of heaven. Again, you can think that it is the hand of nature, invisible nature. Nature is a female figure. Nature is a female. We always attribute nature with femininity. Now, hand suggests the idea of a part for the whole. So, that person is invisible, but hands are visible. And she is addressing the hands, that hands I cannot see. But for love of her, but if you love that nature whose hand, or if you love the God, for that sake, sweet countryman. It is a clever persuasion on the part of the poetess, you can see. It is a keepsake. She appeals to her countryman to consider her and her poetic sympathy and her poetry. She appeals that consider myself, consider me and my poetry sympathetically. Okay. So, in this poem, her attitude is quite unconventional in respect of her other poems. He is treating God, heaven in her own way. He is just addressing them, everything very personally, very informally. The hands, that hands can be hands of nature, the hands can be hands of God. He is saying that her message is committed to hands I cannot see. So it is not important. It is not important to see the person, that receiver. I have just delivered the message and she has received it. It is the important. It is not important to identify the receiver. What is important is the act of receiving, and these hands proves the act of receiving. So the hands which the poetess cannot see, again it can stand for future generation. So this hand can suggest God, can nature, can future generation. Whatever it is not important. But the message that he was duty bound to send is now sent, and it is important. That it is just received, that is important. Can I make you understand? The hands I cannot see, her message is committed. That is important, that the message is received. This is important. For love of her, sweet countryman, judge tenderly of me. Okay, I have sent the message to this world, and now, oh my sweet countryman, just take very tender attitude towards me. Okay, treat me very sympathetically. So it is a beautiful poem by Emily Dickinson, a very short poem, but there are so many things you have to contemplate. Thank you for staying with me. Have a good day. Goodbye.